If this message has reached you, it's not a coincidence. It's not an algorithmic fluke or a random alignment of pixels on your screen. It's resonance. Something within your energy field has magnetized this transmission because a part of you is ready to hear what it's about to reveal. You've crossed the threshold. Even if your logical mind doesn't fully understand what that means yet, your energetic body does. For lifetimes, your consciousness has been orbiting the same dense frequency fields, repeating patterns of limitation, confusion, and separation. These are the energetic loops that kept humanity collectively anchored to a lower vibrational grid, the reality structure that made fear, doubt, and survival the default state of being. But something has shifted, subtly yet profoundly. You've begun to sense that the reality you once took for granted is dissolving. Not because the world is ending, but because you've started to step beyond the frequency band that sustained it. You're no longer fully compatible with your old energetic patterns, and this creates both liberation and turbulence. This is what the final threshold truly is. It's the energetic event where your personal field no longer syncs with the collective illusion that once defined your identity. It's when the old emotional architecture begins to crumble, not to punish you, but to clear space for higher coherence to stabilize within your system. And if you're watching this, that process has already begun. You may have noticed your old motivations fading. Things that once thrilled you now feel hollow. Certain relationships seem to drift out of resonance without conflict. They simply dissolve. Even your body may be responding differently. Unusual fatigue, heightened sensitivity, fluctuations in temperature, sleep, and appetite. These are not random symptoms. They're indicators that your electromagnetic field, your bioquantum architecture, is recalibrating to a higher harmonic bandwidth. Your cells are learning to anchor more light, more information, more coherence. You are literally becoming a different kind of human, one capable of perceiving and transmitting reality beyond the limits of dualistic awareness. The final threshold is not a place nor a moment in time. It's a vibrational state in which the polarity-based operating system of consciousness begins to dissolve. It's the point where the old self-survival mechanisms no longer dictate your choices. It feels disorienting because the ego interprets this shift as loss. Loss of control, loss of certainty, loss of identity. But what's really happening is reorientation. You're not losing yourself. You're losing the filters that prevented you from recognizing who you truly are. This is the crossing. And from this moment on, life will no longer respond to you based on your words or your desires. It will respond to your coherence. If your thoughts, emotions, and actions are aligned with the frequency of integrity, truth, and presence, you'll notice immediate feedback from the field, synchronicities, openings, intuitive clarity. But if you attempt to sustain the old patterns of fear, resistance, or manipulation, they'll collapse faster than ever before. This is not punishment, it's precision. The energetic field is simply amplifying what you are radiating. The old timelines, those sustained by unresolved density, are now expiring. Every time you revisit an old wound, an old story, or an outdated version of yourself, you'll feel energetic friction. The universe is not blocking you, it's redirecting you. It's showing you that the energetic password you once used to access reality no longer works. You've crossed the threshold into a new architecture of being, one governed by resonance rather than reaction. And the deeper truth is this: once you've crossed, you cannot uncross. There's no going back to the comfort of ignorance, the security of repetition, or the illusion of separation. Once you've seen the matrix of conditioning for what it is, pretending to be asleep becomes impossible. So the real question is no longer, how do I cross, but rather, how do I stabilize? How do you integrate this higher frequency reality without collapsing back into the gravitational pull of the old? We'll explore that next. But before we do, if this message is resonating with you, take a moment to breathe it in. This is your confirmation. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not late to the shift. You're exactly where you're meant to be. And if this message finds you, it's because you've already crossed the final threshold, even if your conscious mind is only beginning to understand it. If you've made it this far, something within you has already begun to shift. You can feel it, even if you can't yet describe it. It's subtle but undeniable. Reality feels lighter, yet more fragile. The familiar rhythms of your past don't fit anymore. And while this can feel unsettling, understand this. What you're experiencing is the recalibration phase, the point where your consciousness begins learning to stabilize within a higher energetic bandwidth. When you cross the final threshold, it doesn't mean you've arrived somewhere. It means you've entered a new layer of energetic responsibility. Because when you operate at higher coherence, everything hidden within you is magnified. Every unresolved emotion, every unconscious belief, every unacknowledged pattern now rises to the surface. Not to punish you, but to be purified through awareness. This is why things might feel chaotic right now. You're not falling apart. The illusion of who you thought you were is dissolving. Your old frequency is trying to reassert itself because it was built through repetition, neural, emotional, and energetic repetition. The old version of you is like a program that's still running in the background. But as your consciousness stabilizes into higher coherence, those programs begin to lose their signal. So the question becomes, how do you stabilize the new frequency while the old one collapses? Let's explore this deeply and practically. 1. Awareness before action. The first principle of stabilization is awareness, not reaction. Most people try to fix their discomfort immediately. They chase distractions, self-analyze endlessly, or seek spiritual shortcuts. But true coherence doesn't come from avoidance or control. It comes from presence. Every time you choose awareness over reaction, you're strengthening the neural and energetic pathways that sustain higher consciousness. Awareness itself is a stabilizing field. It aligns your inner electromagnetic patterns with the frequency of truth. But be gentle with yourself. This process will challenge your sense of identity. Your mind will try to interpret new energetic sensations through old reference points. That's okay. Just remember, what you observe cannot control you. 2. Emotional purification. As you ascend in vibration, your emotional density surfaces to be released. You may find yourself feeling intense sadness, anger, or fear for no obvious reason. This is the emotional residue of lifetimes being cleared through your system. Here's the paradox, and it's important. The more light you anchor, the more shadow you illuminate. This phase requires surrender, not resistance. Feel fully, without dramatizing. Observe the emotion without labeling it as good or bad. When you do this, you allow the energy to move and dissipate naturally. Pros. This approach accelerates your integration, making your energy field more coherent and magnetic. You'll begin to sense peace arising from within rather than from external validation. Cons. It can feel isolating. You may lose interest in environments or people that can't meet you at your new frequency. This detachment isn't rejection, it's energetic alignment. Still, loneliness may emerge before your new vibrational network forms. Remember, emotional purging is not regression, it's release. 3. The power of stillness. Stillness is not inactivity, it's attunement. When you stop forcing outcomes and allow yourself to be, you sync with the natural harmonics of the quantum field. This field doesn't respond to force, it responds to frequency. Sit in silence daily, even for 5 minutes. Not to meditate in the conventional sense, but to listen to your body, to your breath, to the subtle hum of energy behind your thoughts. This recalibration requires quiet, because coherence cannot stabilize amidst constant mental noise. Pros: practicing stillness builds energetic resilience, amplifies intuitive clarity, and helps you recognize when your energy slips out of alignment. Cons: stillness can feel uncomfortable at first. Your unprocessed emotions will surface, and your mind will resist losing control. But this discomfort is purification in motion. Stay with it. 4. Coherence through integrity. Your new frequency cannot stabilize if your actions contradict your inner truth. Every time you say yes when you mean no, every time you betray your intuition to maintain comfort, your field fragments. Integrity is not moral perfection, it's energetic alignment. When your thoughts, words, and behaviors are congruent, your energy becomes coherent. Coherence generates power. Incoherence drains it. So ask yourself daily, is this thought, emotion, or action aligned with the frequency I wish to embody? You'll begin to notice that life responds immediately. The feedback loop tightens. Manifestations accelerate. Your outer world becomes a mirror of your inner resonance. 5. The quantum feedback loop. Here's where it becomes fascinating. Once you've crossed the threshold, life no longer operates through linear cause and effect. It operates through instantaneous quantum feedback. Every emotional frequency you radiate is registered by the field and mirrored back through experience. This is why, during recalibration, contrast intensifies. The universe isn't testing you. It's showing you what frequency you're currently broadcasting. When you feel resistance, it's a sign of misalignment, an opportunity to recenter, not a failure. Pros: you gain conscious access to the architecture of manifestation. You begin to see life as responsive, not random. You move from victimhood to co-creation. Cons: there's no more hiding. The feedback is immediate. Old defense mechanisms collapse. The field exposes inauthenticity quickly, not to shame you, but to refine you. 6. Community resonance. As your vibration shifts, you'll attract people and experiences that reflect your new frequency. But this doesn't happen overnight. The void period, where the old dissolves and the new hasn't yet formed, can feel lonely. Don't rush to fill that space. The void is sacred. It's the womb of recalibration. Trust that the right frequencies will find you. You can enhance this process by engaging in high-frequency conversations, content, and environments. Watch, read, or listen to material that nourishes your expansion. Surround yourself with coherence, not noise. Speaking of resonance, if this message feels aligned with your inner journey, take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who might need to hear it, and subscribe to our channel. Your engagement is more than algorithmic. It strengthens the energetic grid that connects awakened consciousness around the world. Together, we amplify the collective coherence field. So yes, your simple act of clicking like or leaving a comment below is part of this quantum synchronization. Tell us in the comments, are you feeling this shift? Are you noticing how life is mirroring your internal frequency more vividly lately? This dialogue helps ground the energy we're building here. 7. Embodying the new rhythm. Integration happens through embodiment. The more consistently you act from alignment, the more stable your new frequency becomes. It's not about trying to maintain a high vibration all the time. That's unsustainable. It's about authentic resonance. When sadness arises, meet it consciously. When joy surfaces, expand it. You are not meant to suppress the human experience. You are meant to experience it consciously. As you continue recalibrating, you'll find that your perception of time changes. Things that once took months to unfold may manifest within days. That's because coherence compresses timelines. Your energy field becomes a living transmitter of intention, clear, direct, and efficient. But remember, power without humility distorts. Stay grounded. The higher the voltage, the deeper the grounding required. You are no longer learning about the shift. You are the shift. The recalibration phase is not about becoming something new. It's about remembering what you already are, consciousness in motion, stabilizing into coherence. You've crossed the threshold. You've stabilized the frequency. Now begins the most important phase, integration. This is where the mystical becomes practical, where the quantum becomes embodied, where realization becomes expression. Crossing into higher frequency isn't the end of the journey. It's the beginning of real living. Living as awareness, not identity. You're no longer just reacting to the movie of life. You're consciously shaping its frame rate, tone, and color. But integration isn't about doing more. It's about being more consciously in everything you already do. 1. The new sensitivity. Once your frequency stabilizes, your energetic sensitivity amplifies. You'll start to perceive subtle shifts in people's energy, environments, and even digital content. What used to feel neutral might suddenly feel heavy. What used to seem exciting might now feel artificial. This is not judgment, it's discernment. You're tuning into the vibrational blueprint beneath the surface of things. Pros: you become a more accurate navigator of energy. You instinctively move toward resonance and away from dissonance, saving yourself years of unnecessary lessons. Cons: the world can initially feel overwhelming. Too much noise, too much projection, too much static. But with time, you'll learn that sensitivity is not fragility, it's precision. The key is energetic hygiene. Take moments throughout the day to clear your field. Breath work, salt baths, walks in nature, grounding exercises. These aren't rituals of escape, they're acts of calibration. Every time you cleanse, you reinforce coherence. 2. The collapse of linear manifestation. When you operate in the integration field, manifestation no longer follows the linear model of desire, effort, time, result. Instead, it follows resonance, alignment, instant reflection. You no longer attract what you want, you synchronize with what already exists. That's the real power of quantum coherence, the collapse of distance between vibration and manifestation. But there's a catch: you can't fake alignment. You can't manipulate the field with words while your emotional frequency says something different. The field doesn't listen to your affirmations, it responds to your state. So, ask yourself, what frequency am I broadcasting through my nervous system right now? If it's fear, no affirmation can override it. You must feel it, dissolve it, and recalibrate. Integration means emotional transparency. It means realizing that your state of being is the script the universe reads from. Pros: when you're in coherence, things flow effortlessly. Synchronicities multiply. Conversations align perfectly. Opportunities unfold naturally. Cons: the margin for unconsciousness disappears. The moment you drift back into fear or self-doubt, the field mirrors it instantly. You'll feel it in your body, your mood, your experiences. But that's not punishment, it's precision. The universe is no longer slow, it's responsive. 3. Living without resistance. Resistance is the residue of the old frequency. It's what happens when the mind clings to control while the heart flows with surrender. To live as a stabilized frequency, you must make peace with uncertainty. The quantum field thrives on potential, not prediction. The more you try to force clarity, the more you distort coherence. Let go of needing to know how everything will unfold. The how is a mechanism of the old paradigm. The what, your vibration, your alignment, your truth, is your only responsibility. When you stop resisting the unknown, you align with infinite intelligence. Pros: peace becomes your default state. You flow through life with a quiet confidence that defies logic. Cons: the ego hates uncertainty. It will try to pull you back into control loops, fear patterns, and constant analysis. This is normal, observe it, but don't feed it. Integration means staying open when your mind wants to close. 4. Conscious creation through frequency. Every interaction, every word, every thought now carries creative weight. In this state, you're not just manifesting, you're transmitting. Your frequency becomes a living broadcast that influences reality. When you speak truth, reality reorganizes around that truth. When you embody peace, chaos begins to harmonize around you. This is why coherence is power. Not the loud, forceful kind, the quiet, magnetic kind. The paradox of creation is this: when you stop trying to make things happen, they start happening through you. Pros: your influence expands without effort. You become a stabilizing presence in any room, online or offline. People feel your coherence before you speak. Cons: responsibility deepens. Every misaligned intention sends ripples through your field. You must continually recalibrate. This isn't perfectionism, it's mastery. 5. The collective integration. You're not integrating this alone. Humanity as a whole is shifting through its own frequency upgrade. The global dissonance you see, the chaos, division, and confusion, is part of the purification process. Old structures cannot sustain higher frequencies. They must collapse. Your role isn't to fix the world, it's to maintain coherence within the world. Your stability creates a ripple effect that stabilizes others subconsciously. One coherent individual can shift the energetic tone of an entire environment. That's how powerful alignment is. So, when you feel the heaviness of the collective field, don't collapse into it. Anchor light through it. Send grounding energy through your breath, your words, your silence. Every act of coherence is a transmission. Pros: you realize your existence has cosmic significance. You are participating in the evolution of consciousness itself. Cons: the contrast will be visible. Those who resist transformation may project fear or judgment. Stay centered. Their reaction is not personal. It's their system responding to your frequency. 6. The infinite expansion. Integration isn't a final destination. There is no ultimate level. Consciousness is infinite. Every time you stabilize, a new threshold appears. You'll continue to expand, not because you're chasing enlightenment, but because expansion is your nature. Think of it as breathing with the universe. Inhale awareness, exhale limitation. This cycle never ends, and it's not supposed to. You're not here to escape the human experience. You're here to transmute it, to make it sacred through awareness. Pros: you begin to experience multidimensional awareness, the knowing that you exist simultaneously across infinite possibilities. Cons: the human mind cannot fully comprehend infinity, so humility becomes essential. Stay grounded. Stay curious. Stay open. 7. Final integration practice. As you close this chapter, here's a simple daily coherence practice to stabilize your frequency. Center the breath. Inhale deeply through the heart space. Exhale slowly, releasing all resistance. Anchor awareness. Feel your body as consciousness made physical. You're not in the body is within you. Emit gratitude. Focus on one thing that expands your energy. Gratitude is coherence made visible. Observe without judgment. Whatever emotion arises, let it be. Awareness is transmutation. Transmit light intentionally. Before sleep or conversation, imagine your field radiating calm luminosity. This energy is felt beyond words. Do this daily, not as a ritual but as remembrance. Closing transmission. If this message resonates with you, it's because your consciousness is ready to live from a higher octave of truth. The old frequency is gone. The illusion of separation is gone. You are no longer waiting for awakening. You are awakening. Every moment from now on will invite you to live what you know, to embody the vibration of truth in action, thought, and being. And remember, you are never doing this alone. Every like, every comment, every share on this channel strengthens the network of coherence connecting awakened souls across the planet. So, if you haven't yet, subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with those who are ready to step through the same threshold. In the comments below, tell us, what shifts have you been feeling lately? Are you sensing the collapse of old timelines in your life? Let's amplify this field together. Because every time you choose awareness over fear, authenticity over performance, presence over distraction, you contribute to the evolution of consciousness itself. And that is the real endgame, not to escape the illusion, but to become lucid within it. You are the quantum mirror, the observer, and the light behind the dream, finally aware of itself. Welcome home.